Good morning, everybody. Mr. Weeks here. Today we're going to talk about coordinate geometry of triangles. In particular, we're going to talk about the area, or finding area of triangles given a set of coordinates. So, first thing we need to do when we're finding area, obviously we need to plot our points. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So let's see, we've got 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Label that one as A. 2, negative 1. There's our B. And negative 1, 3. Here's our C. I'm just going to use the line tool to go ahead and connect those dots. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we got our triangle. Now, normally what we want to do when we're finding area, we're not just asking to find area, we're also asking to find perimeter. So I've already gone through and found the perimeter of this triangle. So if I just write it out for you, so obviously you would go through and use the distance formula. So AB is equal to 4.2. BC we found to be 5. And AC we found to be 6.1. Alright, and again, you would go through, use the distance formula on the different points to find the different lengths of the sides. Now, given the perimeter and the lengths of all the sides, we actually have another formula that we can use to find the area of a triangle. So most people look at the area of a triangle as base times height divided by 2. Well, there's another way we can do that using just the side lengths. And in order to do that, I'm going to switch to my fancy pen. We're going to use a guy named Heron, because this is Heron's formula. Alright. So, in Heron's formula, it looks like this. We use the root of P times P minus A times P minus B times P minus C. And it looks like a lot, and it really isn't. Because I'm going to explain exactly what each one of these letters or variables represents. So again, you're going to want to write down the formula, and then write down what each one means. So P stands for the perimeter divided by 2. Okay, that's the key. If you use just the perimeter itself, none of these will come out correct. So you have to divide both sides, you have to divide the perimeter in half. A, I say, is the length of AB. B is the length of BC. And C is the length of, AC. Alright, so A, B, and C is just one of the 3 sides. So, now that we have the formula, we know what each variable stands for. Again, make sure you copy this down, because this is the whole kit and caboodle for finding area of a triangle based on 3 coordinates. Yes, there is a longer and more tedious way, but I'm telling you right now, the formula is out there. There's no reason we shouldn't use it. Obviously, this guy named Heron, he's going to become your best friend. Alright, so you have the formula down. Nod your head and say yes. Alright. So we're going to take this formula. We're going to go back to my previous slide, and we're just going to plug in all the numbers that we have to figure this thing out. Alright, so here we go. Back. I'm going to write down my formula. Where we have the square root of P times P minus A times P minus B times P minus C. So first thing we need to do is identify our perimeter, or P. So we need to add up all of our side lengths. So we've got 4.2, 5, and 6.1. So we're looking at taking P in this case is the perimeter divided by 2, so we need to take 15.3. We plug that in the calculator, or if I do it in my head real quick, half of 15 is 7.5, and half of 0.3 is 0.15, so we end up with 7.65. Alright? And again, if you press my numbers, use a calculator, but I 15.2, and I hope that you come out with 7.65. Alright, now we just need to plug it in. So, here's our square root. Put in 7.65 as our P, times 7.65 minus A. We said A was AB, so that's 4.2. And it's going to go way over here. Times 7.65 minus B, which was BC, times 7.65 minus AC, which was 6.1. And this is where you plug it into the calculator, and then it would spit out a wonderful answer. And in this case, the answer that it would spit out would be 10. And you know, try to round to the nearest 10th place, aka the first decimal point. Make sure you always put on your units squared when you're talking about it. So leave that U and squared. So let's try one more just to make sure that everybody's got this down. Alright? Actually, no, I'll do that in a different video. So if you got it, great. Keep going. Make sure that you write down the formula, you write down what each C as well as P stands for. And if you get stuck, ask a friend as always. Check your notes, reread the question. If all that stuff still fails, come talk to me. I'm Mr. Weeks.